Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
So, a special, for once we're doing something a bit different. I wanted to take the time to invite people who really helped the Lot Radio throughout the 10 years we've been existing. And it's been a long time coming that we wanted to invite them and the office, etc. But so we're really pleased to have the night mayor of New York City, the second night mayor of New York City, Jeffrey Garcia. Thank you for taking the time.
Francois, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
And thank you to the Lot Radio community.
No, of course. We're really happy to have you there. And we just wanted to have like a kind of an informal conversation, but I wanted to start by saying that, often, as you may know, we had a lot of difficulties the last month here at the Lot Radio. Some department of the city shut us down. We had to reapply for a lot of permits, etc. And so a lot of the community heard that how hard it was to deal with the city, how terrifying it was, how traumatic it was for me and the community, which it really was. But I wanted to kind of set the record straight to say that we always see the city as this big entity that's impossible to deal with, etc. But and that's why I wanted to invite you and your office. It's to tell people that actually, thankfully, in that huge institution, you have incredible people that are actually helping a lot and creating incredible initiative and have an incredibly strong energy to help out. And the Night Mayor office, I have to say, at least in our experience, has been a key partner to keeping us alive. Not even once, but twice in our life. So the first mayor really helped us back in the days to clarify all our departments of health permit, and Jeffrey here had to help to re-clarify everything. So it was a huge amount of work, and we're really thankful. So, but maybe for people who don't really know, in a nutshell, try to explain, because now you changed, you were under media, and now you're under small business service. So maybe
Correct.
do a quick, in a nutshell, what's your role and what's your office about?
Great. Well, let me just start. Let me introduce myself to everyone. My name is Jeffrey Garcia. I'm the executive director at the Office of Nightlife. And like Francois said, we are now located in small business services. We were previously in the Office of Media and Entertainment, and under the Adams administration, we moved into, when I came on board, into small business services.
Exactly.
And it made sense because of the services that small business services provide, right? Along with our services, kind of made sense. It was a real good extension of what we do to join them. But let me digress and give you a little bit of my background. I retired from the NYPD in 2014, so almost 12 years ago now.
Okay.
So don't do the math and age me here. It was a great career there, and after my career there, I opened up a coffee and wine bar in the Bronx.
I didn't know
called
that.
Mon Amour Coffee and Wine.
Nice.
Coincidentally,
Nice.
like
Us, basically, coffee and wine.
Yes. And like you, I understand the hurdles as a business owner of how difficult it is to open up a business here in New York City, right? And things have gone really well there. My wife has been running that since around 2017. Because I decided to get into the advocacy space, and along with other restaurant owners, Latino restaurant owners, we started the New York State Latino Restaurant and Bar and Lounge Association to help advocate for Latino business owners who didn't have a voice. And up until I came into this role, we grew that association to over 300 members. And really was impactful during COVID, because obviously one of the industries, if not one of the most impacted industry was the restaurant, nightlife, bar, performance industry. Obviously, and then helping people navigate through that very difficult time was important. And at the same time, gratifying, because if not for some of the work that we did during that time, people wouldn't be open now. They wouldn't have received the funds. They wouldn't have received the PPEs that they needed to be able to open, to be able to function. they wouldn't have gotten through all the loopholes that or all the challenges that they had to deal with, right? So I felt that those 3 lanes really have helped me in this role now as the executive director of the Office of Nightlife, or as many people call the Nightlife Mayor, because of those 3 lanes that I have, or I call them tools in the tool belt, right? So here I am, and we're doing great work. The office had been in place since 2018, right? And I came into an office
in 2019. That's the first time Jose saved us.
Correct. And I came into an office, right, that had 2 individuals that had a lot of experience, Jose and Francesca, and really helped me navigate through this as well. And I think we're a great team. We're a small team, but mighty. And our team grew by
how many people are you now?
2 people. So Mia Khan helps us. It does our case coordinator work in our office. And Alexis Jimenez is our nightlife liaison, who also comes with a lot of experience from the nightlife industry in New York. And so our team grew.
So
but
wait,
our team
total,
grew
how
even
many
beyond that.
Total? How many?
So we're a total of 5, right? However...
But that's too small, no?
It's still too small. However, again, going back to the reasons why we went into SBS is that we have access to
the extended.
Tens more,
true.
Right? If not hundreds, right? Because, but through the services that SBS provides, we are able to provide, again, a lot more services, a lot more of those tools on the tool belt, right? Because we can offer free commercial lease assistance. We can offer SBS advocates, right? Small business advocates to help you navigate city government and open up your business. We have our best team, which can come in here and do mock inspections to help you avoid violations, right? Prepare you so that when inspectors do show up to do their normal work throughout the year, whether it's Department of Health, Department of Building, FDNY, they can prepare you for that to help you avoid violations. So even though we're a team of 5, we're way bigger than that, right? Because we have access to a lot more folks, right? At arm's length.
And but I'm kind of excited. We never did it, and on top of it, we have kind of an exclusivity. And I'm really happy that you choose the Lot Radio to announce it. So without too many further adieux, I would like you to explain.
But wait, listen, because we didn't get to talk about you. Let's talk about you, and because to me, like I just want to I'm excited to announce that. However, I really want to get back to you because I think it was one of the shining moments of my time. Till this point right here at the Office of Nightlife was working with you, meeting you, and understanding what you were going through and where we are now, right? Obviously, when I came in today, I forgot, but I was like, oh, can I get a cup of coffee? You told me, oh, we can't do coffee.
No more
and,
coffee.
It was one of the difficult things we had to navigate, right? But, you were able to open. So to me, it was really important to really come and talk about that, right? And be able to tell you how happy we are that you're open, that you continued the fight, right? Because sometimes people just give up, right? Because it's too hard. And you didn't. And that's what makes New York.
I told you on
great.
a few emails because it's true that we had a relationship with the office it took more than 8 months to resolve everything, and they were on board since day one, and they had me on the phone in weird emotional moments, and I was way too emotional, but it's true if I didn't know that the Night Mayor office existed, and that's what I told them many times, if I didn't know those people were in the city, on the city side, but first we will not be reopened. We would be gone. And so it's really, really an important key pillar in the city that's really, really, really important. And in our case, really saved us twice.
And that would be sad. That would be sad for
Yeah.
this community. That would be sad for
Yeah.
you.
But it's still
and-
ongoing. We're still and they're still helping, and we need to create.
Oh no,
more
we still got work to
innovation.
do
Yeah,
here.
we have a
Yeah,
lot of
we still
work
got work to do
non-stop.
here because obviously we need to figure this out together. How we make you permanent, right?
Exact.
How we make you long term, so that you don't have to deal with these hurdles year in, year
Exact.
out, right?
We're
And I
almost
think
there.
that is the important part of this.
Exact.
But it was really gratifying to me, and that day coming with Commissioner Gross
Yeah.
here and seeing the, I don't know, 200-300 people that were here that day. You know,
yeah, it was
just people that were walking around in the
I'm
neighborhood,
joking.
just walking
It was a
around.
reopening. It was a big
right?
success. It was lovely.
Here and really enjoying this space and what it means to this neighborhood. I think this is what really builds communities around New York City. Obviously, coming from, I grew up in Washington Heights,
Okay.
right? Very Dominican neighborhood. And seeing how that's changed from the moment I grew, when I was growing up there. I think it's really important to keep these type of businesses open and doing well all across our city.
Yeah.
So I thank you. I thank you for really having the patience, having the grit. But that's what, makes a New Yorker.
Tell me, yeah. Exactly. And so I'm kind of excited because actually I don't know much about what you're gonna announce, and I'm really curious. So I think it's a good moment to talk about it because I think it goes along those lines that we were talking about community and support, etc. So we have an exclusive news on the Lot Radio for the first time in 10 years.
Yes. Well, we are very, very happy to report. I am so proud that I'm able to be here to report that to the community, to the nightlife industry, that the nightlife office has a grant. It's called the NY26 Nightlife Grant, and we were able to get some funding to work with local nonprofits all across the city that apply and go through the process and get approved to help work with our office to keep expanding on the work that we do, right? And one of the 4 pillars that we work under are about promoting safety, equity, harm reduction, and to elevate our first world-class nightlife industry. So those are the pillars in which this grant will work under, right? And we look forward to having people apply. The grant is actually open right now on our website. So let me give it out to folks,
please,
all right? nyc.gov/nightlife. nyc.gov/nightlife. Go on the website.
We'll post it in our story as a link too. So
Yes,
you can check it out.
and you can apply, and within the next month or so, we're going to be reviewing these applications, and hopefully approving applications quickly after that.
How many application will be?
No, it's an open application process, right? Grants. We have a total funding of approximately $350,000, and any possible applicant get up to $50,000.
Wow.
So it's not a lot of money, but it's enough to really get our word out, right? To help get the word out, help the industry that we really need to continue to build. Listen, I am one that always, I go around this city, people saying, oh, things aren't the same, nightlife isn't the same. Listen, the world isn't the same, right? From when I was growing up. But New York City is still the greatest city in the world with the greatest nightlife in the world. And yes, we have challenges just like everywhere else. And, that's a great thing about this grant, that we hope to really build on the work that we're doing and bring community in to help us, right? And I think that's what we hope to get out of this. And again, continue to expand on the work that we do.
Exact. No, but it's really, I think that's the important key point is that for people of the community and our listeners listeners, etc., to understand that the city is a huge institution, but the Department of Nightlife and there's a small business service, etc., helped us a lot when we opened 10 years ago. Like there are resources. It's a bit hard to find sometimes. It's a bit more cryptic, but they are there. On the website, everything is there, and you should reach out. There are a lot of initiatives to help us here and there.
And there is, and again, like I said, aside from this grant that is going to be amazing for our industry, it's the work and the agency as a whole that we work under. Like there's so many resources, and it's free for everyone. But something I always say is that it's not free. You pay for it. It's why you pay taxes, right? Use the resources that your tax dollars are going to, right? So that you don't feel like, hey, all I do is pay taxes. I don't get nothing for it. Well, you know what? We can help you. SBS can help you. And then we can help you navigate the other agencies, right, that you don't feel you have access to. Department of Health, Department of Buildings, right, the NYPD. We work very closely with the NYPD, especially since we introduced CURE. Right, and the
CURE is the reply to
March, what used to be the March operations. Yes, we'll go into it right now. So
wait, and so before that, because we're going to continue to talk, but actually, if you have a question or remarks, etc., you could use the Lot Radio chat room to pose question. Maybe we'll take a few, maybe not. I don't know. We'll try. But if you have a specific question, and maybe Jose
we got
can
Q&A here. We got Q&A. I love
we don't know.
Nice.
Let's see if we have question. But tell me about that. The Q versus the other.
Yes, well, for years, right, since the Giuliani era, the nightlife industry really was in many ways disrespected or not respected the way it should be. And one of the components of that was March operations, which are multi-agency response to community hotspots. And basically is like when there were issues at a venue, the possibility, what would happen is enforcement would happen shortly after that. And NYPD would go there with numerous agencies, up to 17 people ranging from city agencies to state agencies like the SLA. And basically they would go there on your busiest night, possibly a Friday or Saturday night, shortly after midnight when you're the busiest times, and basically turn on the light, shut down the music, and would do an inspection in your venue.
Even on your customers?
Not really on the customers, right? But more the venue. But it would interrupt your customers. And what would happen in many of those cases is that what did happen is that customers would walk out because they would think there was something else going on and leave. And in many of those cases, leave without even paying the bill. So you would get a double whammy there, right? Not only were you getting an inspection, right, but then your customer would leave, and some of them would leave without paying, right? Unwittingly. I mean, they just didn't know what was going on and would walk out. So inspections would happen, and now you left out of there with tens of thousands of dollars in fines, right, that you had to deal with. And many of them probably weren't even egregious. Some of them were for your fire extinguisher not being at the proper height or an extension cord being on the ground. And that we realized throughout the years was being hurtful. We were hurting businesses instead of helping them. And under this administration, we realized that. And Mayor Adams changed that in December of 2023 and introduced what is now called CURE, which is Coordinating United Resolution with the Establishment. And basically what that means is now we educate over enforcement. Doesn't mean enforcement can't happen because, this is not a free-for-all, but there's an education process. So a venue, something happens at a venue. Let's say a fight, right? NYPD gets notified. They go there, right? They take care of that issue, that emergency, because PD can still obviously has to answer emergencies, and they will go there and handle that, and then they will notify our office, and then our office will engage with that business to figure out what happened. Then we have a meeting at the precinct that we like to call, or as my colleague Jose always uses the reference, being called to the principal's office, and basically we sit down and we figure things out. with the CEO of the precinct, with the special operations lieutenant,
Yeah.
or the cops and the sergeants, the NCOs or the quality of life teams now, and the owners,
Yeah.
right? And we come up with solutions,
Yeah.
with best practices to make sure that we mitigate these issues from happening,
Yeah.
right? Sometimes we even figure out that maybe the business did everything right,
Yeah.
and even something
Yeah.
will still happen,
Yeah.
and we want to make sure that businesses are protected
Okay.
when that happens,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
If the incident happened outside your business, what happened? What could you have done differently?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can't, right? But that's the point, that's the process that we can clear things up there
Okay.
to make sure, again, that we are educating over enforcing. And what
seems
we've
way more
seen is
productive.
over the last year and a half is that it's working.
Yeah.
Is that it's working. And again, does it mean that enforcement doesn't happen? Enforcement has happened in numerous locations after having these meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because again, they haven't either adhered to our best practices,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or other incidents have happened, right? We obviously heard recently of a terrible incident that happened in Brooklyn with the venue. And we can't let that happen in our city either, right? Because public safety is the prerequisite to prosperity, right?
Yeah.
So not only do we want these businesses to operate, but they need to operate safely, not just for their patrons, but also for the community, right? Because the community is such an important component of this.
Yeah.
And even though my job is to advocate for businesses, it is also about how do we bring community and business together and understand that there's mutual goals, there's a mutual respect that needs to happen between business and community.
Great. No, but for sure, it seems way more productive as a vision. Yeah.
Absolutely, and the business community is responding well to it. I engage everyone. So when community boards ask for me to go and visit them and talk to them about the work that we do, I speak frankly. I speak honestly about what we do, how we do it, and how they play an important role in this process as well.
You're not completely me. I'm thinking on the day-to-day basis. Isn't your office completely overwhelmed? So because it's not a huge team, and I'm feeling. But then what I mean is that are you not overwhelmed?
Well, it's not like we're having major incidents. Again, it's not like there's major incidents.
No, when I
happening.
see how much
I
took of your time, and
Yeah.
I'm one little operation. Actually, we're not a problem in the neighborhood. We're really not a problem. It took so much time from your office, so much resource.
Well,
not
this
resource,
is,
but
this
time.
is
yeah.
part of the outreach and advocacy
Yeah.
that we do. Is that I wish we become that even more busy,
Yeah.
so that then we would have to hire more people, right, and give them more help.
Yeah.
But it's not like every single business in New York reaches out to us. They
Thankfully
should.
for you.
If you're having hurdles, if you're going through hurdles, if you're going through
Yeah.
issues, you should be reaching out to
Yeah.
us. And like I said, our office is an office of 5, but we have
We
an
support
agency
business.
that we have that can support,
True.
right? And again, not everything has to be handled through our agency. You could be
then
having
you can be
an
redirect.
issue. You could be
Yeah.
having an issue again with Department of Health,
Yeah.
and our job is to link you with the people at Department of Health
Exact.
to help you navigate that, right? So it doesn't always necessarily mean that we are the ones, doing the
No,
work,
exact, I get
but
it, yeah.
we are
It's
the
an entry
connectors
point.
to
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, for us, it was mainly that. Basically, practically speaking, we're not going to go into the detail because it's not really interesting. But basically, they really helped us because at some point, it's really hard for every different department of the city to, for example, us, we're a really specific situation in this shipping container. And so every department is busy and they don't have a lot of resource themselves. And so they're like, it's just no, like, I don't understand your application. I can put more time in this application. And so basically what they help with is that they sat down with us and tried to understand our issue and put them forward to the different department in the right language, in the right tone, etc. So that then we find solution instead of being stopped by problems. And that worked. So, yeah.
And I really would like to speak about some of the other initiatives that we work with that are
Please.
so important, and to continue on this with community and businesses, we have a program called MEND, right?
I don't
An
know
initiative called MEND, which is it's a mediation program that when a community member is having issue with a business, right? Around quality of life, noise,
okay.
garbage,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah,
it may
yeah,
be,
yeah.
there is a process that they can partake in, which
Instead
is
of
called MEND.
going 311
instead of
non-stop,
calling
right?
311, or
Yeah.
maybe when they have called 311,
Yeah.
right? And now we become aware.
Yeah.
Well, there's a mechanism in place that we can connect the business and this individual to free mediation,
Okay.
right? And it's not handled through a community board. It's not handled through my office.
yeah.
It's not handled
Okay.
through. It's handled through a city agency, Oath, right?
Ah, yeah,
And
I know
then they
that.
have professional mediators
Yeah.
that they have in place that will bring all parties together and come up with solutions. But the most important thing there is, for me, is that people can talk to each other.
Yeah.
It's a space
Yeah.
where people can talk to each other and figure out solutions.
Yeah.
And it could be related to noise, right? And it could be about moving that speaker that's on that corner to
Yeah.
this corner,
Yeah.
or moving a bass from the front, from the back of the
Venue
the venue to the front of the venue.
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as that. Maybe it might take more. And maybe it might take that you need to do some soundproofing in your business. But the important is that people talk to each other. And by the numbers, we realize that it works. Because in 87% of those cases where those folks come together, the venue and the community member, we find solutions.
Wow.
So again, it's about talking to each other. I think that in this world of social media, everybody just likes to, it's easier to put something on a post. It's easier to just to call 311 as opposed to saying, hey, let's sit down, let's talk about this. This is what I'm going through. I know you're a business. I know you need to make money, but how can we figure this out? Because I need to wake up in the morning. My kids need to sleep. Because those are the type of complaints that come in.
Yeah.
And I think that as a business owner, when somebody tells you that, I think you're going to understand that,
Yeah, okay.
especially if you have kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I have kids, so I would understand that, right? And I think that that's what this is about, right? It's not, hey, let's just go through this process. No, it's about people talking to each other, and it's working great. And I really wish people use that process more and more. Right, and let the 301
So, for example,
system.
practically, let's say you're in that situation. Instead of maybe you did 311 on the website, there's a specific thing to fill out.
They can go to our website,
Yeah.
right, at nyc.gov/nightlife, and they can read about how the MEN program works.
Okay.
They can reach out to our office,
Okay.
and then we'll connect them. Right, and if we don't have a relationship with the business, then we'll reach out to the business,
Nice.
or we can do it. We can do that through the police department as well. And again, it's about connecting them and putting them on the right path, right? And again, what we've seen is when we talk to business owners, they appreciate this. They appreciate this process and really want to find a way to work with the community. Because again, the community are the people who go into the business, so they need them, right?
It seems way more mature to work like that and more productive for everyone. Yeah, for
Absolutely,
sure.
absolutely.
On the other initiative that you have? Or?
Yes.
Ah.
Another very, very important one, which is called Narcan Behind Every Bar.
We have a few here.
Yeah, we all have heard of the terrible cases of overdoses and the opioid problem that we have and the fentanyl problem that we have, not just in New York City, but all across our country. And the amount of deaths that, of folks who overdose. And again, this is not because there's an issue in businesses or in nightlife industry where people are just overdosing, but it's about being prepared.
Exactly.
It's about, just like you're required to have a first aid kit behind your bar, this is just another tool in the tool belt, right, to help save a life.
Exactly.
And it could be help saving a life inside your business. It could be helping save a life right outside your front doors, right? And I think that that's what's important here. And it's a free service. We can train you. The Department of Health can train you virtually. We can, if you get enough people in your community, businesses, we can come out and do an in-person training, and then we give you the free Narcan kits. Okay, we give you the kits. So it's of no cost to you. Good Samaritan laws protect the venue and the administrator of the Narcan. Again, and something I always say that, gets people to laugh, but again, there's not a laughing matter, is that if somebody knocks out and you administer Narcan thinking that they're going through an overdose episode and they were just drunk, they would just be a drunk person with Narcan in them. Nothing would happen.
No, exactly.
This only helps if they are going through an overdose episode, and you would be giving that person a second chance at life.
Yeah.
And I think that
But
that's
that's a
what's
really
important
impressive
here.
initiative. I remember when they launched it, and so fast New York City like jumped on board. And I mean, we will repeat it here. But if you want a bar or any venue, etc., you absolutely need to reach out and get your free Narcan. But I hope by now, like most places have, I think. But probably a lot of restaurants still should, and it costs nothing. It's always there hanging, and you never know when you need it, and it cannot hurt. As you say, it cannot hurt even if it's not an overdose of fentanyl. You can administer it. It takes 1 second. The person is totally safe, and what you can do is you can save life. There's no reason to die of a fentanyl overdose anymore with the Narcan kit, so it should be everywhere. We have 3 here.
Yes, and we want more folks participating. Again, reach out to our office, either via email at, and let me give you that email, nightlife@sbs.nyc.gov.
Okay.
Nightlife@sbs.nyc.gov. And, again, we can connect you and make sure that you have all the necessary Narcan kits to make sure that again you can help save a life, and I think that's the important part of this initiative.
All right. More initiative?
Obviously, we do night school also, which is we help
What's that? I don't know
businesses.
anything
It's these webinars that we do either quarterly that we help businesses on best practices, new rules that have come out. Like when the outdoor dining was finalized in New York City, we help people navigate through that process, right? We also work very closely with our food and beverage partnership executive director, Stephen Picker, who really spearheaded within SBS that program. But again, another important program that the city did to help save businesses during COVID. And we were able to make that a permanent program, right? It's not perfect by any means, but it's better than what we had at the time, 100%. Right? Because there's definitely more people participating now than there were previously. Obviously, less than during COVID. Because now you have to pay, there's rules and regulations, many businesses didn't use it properly during COVID, right? And that also gave it a bad name. Exactly. But now I go across the city and I see these structures and they're beautiful. Right. People are using them. I was having dinner the other night in Lower Manhattan and sat outside, and it's wonderful. This city's amazing. When there's good weather, especially this time of year, September, 65 degrees, sitting outside.
The day they need to take them off during the winter. When is the day?
Yes, November.
It's fine.
But only if you have the street structures, the ones on the street. The sidewalk is all year round. Okay. Sidewalk is all year round. The structures on the street are April through November.
Okay.
All right. So, but again, that's some of the fixes that we hopefully will work on in the future, where maybe we can make that year round. Maybe we can get that to be enclosed. We'll see, right? But that requires a lot of advocacy, right? And but I think that would also really help and enhance economic development in our city and our restaurants. So, but as of right now, it was definitely a great program, and restaurants should definitely take advantage of it.
For sure. Okay. I didn't have time to review the chat. There's nothing in the chat, guys.
No questions.
It's fine. We're doing a great job.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Jose. Thank you. My colleague, Jose, reminded me that it's important to mention City of Yes. Obviously, that was big zoning changes that were done in the city for housing, for economic development, for many things, right? And one of the main components for us was City of Yes for economic development was a proposal called Proposal 9. And what that did was remove all restrictions on dancing for venues under 200. In certain zones. And that's super important because now those venues can obviously allow dancing and not have to worry that Department of Buildings or agencies would come in and give them a fine.
Yeah.
However, I must say that you have to double check if you're a venue and if you agree to any type of stipulations with your community board, that you probably still need to adhere to those stipulations that you agreed to, right? So while a lot of these changes are in place, and we are trying to work on that as well to see with our state counterparts how we can fix that, because again, if you're allowed, you're allowed. You know, just like when you're putting in your application for your liquor license, whether you can have a DJ or music, we understand that sound is sound, whether it comes from a DJ, whether it comes from a jukebox, whether it comes from Francois singing. You know, it's music, and you still have to adhere to noise code. So you know how that music is produced, you know, shouldn't really matter, right?
True.
But another very, very important change that was done, again, in a positive way to help our industry by our city.
Great. No, but I mean, Jose, is there something we're missing? No?
No? Yeah. Oh, again, please, we are launching our NY26 Nightlife Grant. So please go on to our website. Look at the rules. Look at the
But so it's going to be a yearly thing, or for now we're trying 1 year and we see?
For now we're budgeted. Like I said, we have $350,000. It's going to be up to $50,000 per grantee.
Do you know when the deadline is? No. October 15. Yeah. October 15?
October 15th. So you have 30 days. You have 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, but let's get on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you know, let your people know. Every day
we'll
you're on here,
it.
let them know.
No, we'll post it on our
story. Did you apply for your grant?
Yeah, we'll probably we'll remind people. Yeah, you have to be a nonprofit.
You have to be a nonprofit, correct. You have to be a nonprofit.
Okay.
And again, we really want to continue propelling nightlife forward here in this city, all across the city.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at, you know, just Brooklyn, how much it's grown over the years,
crazy.
and you know, and nightlife here, it's really amazing. It's one of the boroughs I probably spend most time in. You know, in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah. Well, but let's keep in touch if you have other news, etc., and also the community. If you have other questions that we can put you in touch with them, etc. I hope you don't need them, but they are there if you need, and we're really happy to have this chat with you. And congrats on the grant. I'm really excited about it. I think it's a super cool initiative, and I can't wait to see who's going to take advantage of it.
Joseph, anything from our SBS side that I missed? Huh? Thank you. And again, I just want people to, again, know that we exist.
Yeah.
Reach out to us. We're here to help. We love to help. And, you know, let's keep pushing nightlife forward and continue being the greatest city in the world for New York City in nightlife. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it.
A picture of you two together?
Yeah.
With the mic, come so we see where we are. Jose, where are you?
Yeah, come on over. You're part of this too. There we go.
Good?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the mic is still on.
A vertical one as well.
Okay.
You know, hot mics get you in trouble.
I know. Here it's I'm going to turn it off. No, I'm joking. Bye, everyone.